Hi everybody, Dr. Lawrence here, and welcome back to the Thinking Chair. This video is about your author bio. It's a kind of writer's statement. In the context of the book proposal, importantly, it also must speak to not just who you are and what your qualifications are, but why who you are and what your qualifications are matched to this specific book. I used in a different video the example of, like, let's imagine you are writing a book about a very specific disease. You might want to be the expert on that disease first. You might need a medical degree, 30 years of research experience, and so on. Unless you're doing something that's like personal experiences with living through this disease, and there's lots of books like that too. But just saying, so maybe that's not a great example, but just saying that your experience, what you're trying to demonstrate is you're matching your qualifications and your biography, your writer's bio, with the book, and then you are trying to demonstrate some kind of sales potential as well. That's really hard to do. I even struggle with that. Um, the only reason probably why an agent was interested in my newest book is because I started doing a bunch of things on social media and, you know, like posting stuff on different social media sites, and I could demonstrate quantitatively, numerically, like, oh, there were millions of people that engaged with this post. I have some kind of audience. I was doing a newsletter for a while. I had 3,000 readers. I got kind of tired of it, frankly. I might return to it at some point, but so that's not part of this class, building a platform and building an audience. So that this section can be kind of difficult. So focus on what is true, basically. Focus on what is true of your author bio, um, and match it to the book. Let's go for the farming example. I know I've used that a lot, but it just kind of helps build the showing all the different kind of. It's an extended example, right? You grew up on a farm, and that's why you're writing a book about sustainable farming. And it was a small farm, and you know absolutely everything about farming. And so maybe your bio is like a lot about that. And then maybe you're studying for your bachelor's in writing at the University of Wisconsin Superior. Maybe you won some awards or scholarships. Maybe you published your writing in the Namaji Review. Maybe you published elsewhere. Maybe you published in the Promethean. Maybe you did an internship on marketing, and you can apply those skills to promoting your book. Maybe you attend an annual conference of farmers where you can share your book with 20,000, Wisconsinites who are in your community of practice. They exist in that space in that conference every year, and you can share your book with them. Maybe you have some family connection to, you're a member, your family members are members of of the farmers union or so. I don't know anything about farming. You can tell us, like, okay, but right, so you're embedded in a network of people and community, and you need to demonstrate how your book could, like, reach other people by talking about yourself and talking about your qualifications. Understanding that it is kind of hard to do when you're maybe at some folks are maybe earlier in their careers, or if you're in that kind of early career stage, you might have to talk more about, like, yeah, what are those personal experiences. If it's mountain biking, you're writing the definitive guide to mountain biking in the Twin Ports. Don't make it that complicated. It's like, you know, you've competed in 20 different mountain biking events in the Twin Ports. So you know all the trails. You've been up and down those mountains. You know all about it. You grew up in the Twin Ports. You're a member of the community, and you know all about mountain biking, and right? I mean, that's cool. Like that's, and there's probably a lot to say about that. And so that's matching your bio to the content of the book and creating that really strong connection between, not only am I a writer and I have some chops, I have the ability to write this book, but also I have specialized knowledge in this subject area. So look at some examples. Um, don't sell yourself short in this section, right? I mean, don't make things up. It has to be very real, very objective, very true. But build yourself up. Don't diminish your experiences. Um, we'll use the Romanian violin example. It's like maybe you own a Romanian violin and you've been playing it for 15 years. And that led you to the mystery of where did it come from? And you've been studying violin with one of the most accomplished violinists in the region. And every year you attend the violin, the you compete in the folk fiddle competition every year, and you have you know things about it. So it's like boost yourself up, you know. And you're studying, you're going for a bachelor's in writing, and you have taken classes on this and that, and all that sort of stuff. That I'm getting really informal here, but as it is, it's your story. So write it well. Your biography is your story, and so you should write it very well and sell your best. Put your not sell. You're not a commodity, but put your best attributes forward and connect it to the theme of the book and make it argumentative in the sense of like, yeah, I'm the person to write this book. I'm the best person to write this book. It's my idea. It's my expertise. I'm also going to draw on the expertise of many other individuals and so on, but it's your book. You're the person to write it. So have confidence. Tell that story about who you are and why it matters and why that makes you a good person to write. The best, not just someone who can write this book, but you're the one. You're the person who can write this book. All right, take care. That's the author bio, which is an important section of your nonfiction book proposal.